Elsie. This is my channel, The Fancy Hat Lady Reads. I am wearing one of my fancy Booktube hats, and today I am doing my TBR for this brand new month of June. And the first thing that you need to know about my reading plans for June is that I am currently and still reading for 2 different awards. Number 1, the Booktube SFF Awards. I will leave all the information below. Have had the reading period extended by a month. The voting period has been pushed back to the beginning of July, so I am hoping to get through a couple more of those books that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to fit in, but in reality, my main focus is to shift gears to Hugo Awards reading now that we have the Hugo voter packet and the clock is ticking and voting is open through the end of July, and there is so much to get to and no one is pushing that deadline back. It will never happen. So first I'm going to let you know what I'm currently reading. I'm still reading because I didn't manage to finish this in time. 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, edited by Ellen O. and Elise Chapman. This anthology was the group read for the Asian readathon that happened last month. I participated, I hit the other challenges, but I stalled like halfway through the group book, and I would still like to finish this so I could say that I completed all the things for that readathon, even if I did it a little late. Next, I have just started another one of the Booktube SFF Award nominees that I really wanted to get to, and this is Circe by Madeline Miller. I'm just a couple chapters into this. I'm 3 chapters in maybe, but it's been slow to get into, but I'm hoping to get invested in it pretty soon. This book, with all its mythology stuff, should be right up my alley, so I have high hopes. And then the last thing that I'm reading just for the Booktube SFF Awards is Shah and the End of Time on audiobook, which I keep forgetting that I'm listening to. I will actually listen to it this month. I promise. So Circe and Shah are the 2 things that I'm still reading just for the Booktube SFF Awards. There was one book that was another sort of crossover title with the Hugo Awards, specifically nominated for the Lodestar, and that's Children of Blood and Bone, which is also nominated in the debut category for the Booktube SFF Awards. This one wasn't as high on my priority list to get to during the Booktube SFF Award reading period, but I always planned on reading it by the time Hugo voting closed. So I will be trying to get to this one this month, and when I do, I will have read all of the nominees in the debut category for the Booktube SFF Awards as well, and I will have started getting going on those Lodestar nominees. This one I have on ebook. It was provided in the Hugo voter packet as a NetGalley link. Some of the books they provide in the Hugo voter packet, they just give you the ebook. And then a few of them are these NetGalley links where you get a NetGalley download of this, even though it's a released book with this special link. I have very mixed feelings about that because if I don't get to it and review it in a timely manner, then it totally screws up, my NetGalley review percentage, which I have a lot of concerns about because I haven't been reviewing for months. But I did write my first book review in a really long time today, and it was not as hard as I thought it was, so hopefully I'll be able to get the ball rolling on reviews again very soon. The next Hugo things I want to get started on as soon as possible are the things in the series category, because the series are the largest reading commitment if you want to be caught up. One series I know I will not be reading in full because it's a vast, sprawling short story universe is the Julia series by Aliette de Bodard, but I do have a couple novellas in that series in print on my shelves, so this month I hope to read On a Red Station Drifting. Like The Tea Master and the Detective, which I have read, which is also part of this series, this takes place in a Vietnamese space empire, and it has to do with this world's sentient mind ships. And then the other series for the Hugos that I want to get started this month is The Sentinel Cycle by Malka, the first book being Infomocracy. All 3 of these are in the Hugo voter packet this year, but I did already have this one as an ebook on my Kindle. It has been on my TBR for a long time, so this is the series of all of the series that I am most excited to dive into, and I have hopes that I might actually be able to read all 3 books in 2 months. I do not know. So then I have a couple of other things on my TBR that I am reading for un-awards related reasons. The first is a group read for the Into the Forest group on Goodreads that I'm a member of, and that I have been for a long time now, like, slacking in my participation in that group. Like, even if I've been reading the group books, I've been forgetting or, like, neglecting to go back and talk about them. And one of the things that I want to get back into is my participation in that Goodreads group, because I really like all of those internet people. But the book is The Summer Prince by Alaya Dawn Johnson. This is, I think, a standalone young adult sort of dystopian fantasy novel, I think. And the reason we're reading this is that this reading period's theme is South American mythology and folklore. And this takes place in, like, either a setting inspired by Brazil or, like, futuristic Brazil. I didn't really know anything about this book until it was nominated. It looks like it was published in 2013. It is pretty short. I'm gonna give it a go. And then the last thing that I have to read for other completely unrelated reasons is the next book in my stack of 5-star TBR predictions, and that's Among Others by Jo Walton. This is literally the book that has been on my Goodreads TBR the longest, so it is high time that I read this. So those, plus the ones on my Kindle, are really the ones that I need to, or not need, that I plan on getting to this month. I still have, you've seen these several months in a row now, 2 more of the Booktube SFF Award nominees out from the library, Foundryside, this one's Foundryside, and Skyward. I still have these in reserve in case I have the time and desire to pick them up. They are still lower priority, and I wouldn't feel bad about sending them back to the library unread. Both of them, there are reasons I'd like to read them. Skyward, because I'm kind of in a YA mood, and then Foundryside, because I would really like to read some Robert Jackson Bennett. The reason this is not the Robert Jackson Bennett I really want to read first is because I have City of Stairs on my Kindle from last year's Hugo voter packet, and it was one of those NetGalley downloads where it is clogging up my my review percentage. So I really think I need to read that series first, even though this is the cool new release. So that was my TBR for June. I will tell you, I'm open to the possibility that I might pick up some more, like, exciting new release stuff in June instead of some of these, because I'm being very excited about 2019 releases right now. Both some of those ones that I have had on NetGalley for a long time that were released earlier this year, and some of the ones that I ended up picking up at Book Expo and BookCon just last week. So I am in a mood to be swayed away from my my planned TBR this month, but I hope it doesn't get in the way of me making progress on these awards lists. Anyhow, let me know what you think of these books. Let me know if you're reading for these awards, how that is going for you. Anyhow, I hope you're having a nice day. That is all. Bye for now.